Jonathan Lee Riches investigates. I am covering the Moscow, Idaho Bryan Kohberger case. Hundreds of documents have been released to me regarding Bryan Kohberger via a public records request that I submitted in Washington. And yesterday I got lots of records, and I want to share these records with you. I am going through these records, and it's fascinating. It is fascinating stuff. In particular, I'm going to talk about what went down the day officers had a search warrant. They went to Bryan Kohberger's apartment on 12/30/2022. This is fascinating here, people. I'm going to show you a handwritten application for a search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's storage locker that was signed by the judge, all handwritten, because it was in real time when authorities went to Bryan Kohberger's apartment. They didn't know at the time he had a storage locker, and they found out he had a storage locker while they were there. And then Officer Daniels, Don Daniels, rushed to get a warrant to search that locker. Check this out.
So look at this handwritten approval for a search warrant of Bryan Kohberger's storage locker. On 12/30/2022, at approximately 16:09 hours, Judge Gary Libby finds there is probable cause to believe the storage closet labeled G201 in black marker on a wooded door located in Building F of the Steptoe Apartments may contain items as of 1 and 5 in the section items to be seized may be found in the storage unit. Also, he authorizes the search of storage unit labeled G201 located in Building F of the Steptoe Apartments. Signed by Judge Gary J. Libby, Superior Court Judge, Whitman County, and by Don Daniels, badge number 302, Assistant Chief of Police, Washington State University Police. See body camera recording for telephonic application. So looks like Don Daniels arrived to the Steptoe Apartments, found out Bryan Kohberger had a storage locker, then called Judge Libby up, and then they wrote it down on a piece of paper where Libby found probable cause to allow the authorities, police, to search Bryan Kohberger's storage locker. Let me know what you think.
So Judge Gary Libby signed off on it. It was handwritten. So the officers went to the apartment. They were inside Bryan Kohberger's apartment. They saw a padlock, and then they were wondering what this padlock is about. So they called the landlord and found out, yeah, Bryan Kohberger also has a storage locker. But they didn't have a warrant for that storage locker. So what Don Daniels did was write down on a piece of paper affidavit of probable cause, and also called the judge on the phone, like a telephonic, because you looked on that form I showed you. It said telephonic. She called the judge, and the judge probably told her, write it down on a piece of paper now. We have no time to type it up. Write it down now. And then Daniels typed this up, and the judge actually signed it, handwritten, to search that locker. Amazing. It was like in real time. They didn't even realize he had a storage locker. Now, inside the storage locker, who knows what they got? I believe they were looking for like trace evidence or blood evidence. But he had a locker. He had a locker in a separate building. But authorities were not aware of that at the time. But it's just one of many fascinating things about the process of what went down with Bryan Kohberger. That was at 12:30. It looked like after 1600 hours. So about 4 p.m., a little bit after 4 p.m., this all happened with this particular document. I have lots and lots of records related to this case that was released to me. Check out my last 24 hours, my videos. I've been, basically clipping these documents and doing segments for each document, and I will continue to do so. So if you want in-depth coverage about this case and what went down with Bryan Kohberger and new documents that have not been shared prior, these are new documents that they finally, because I asked for these documents months ago, and they kept stalling, and then yesterday I got an email notification that said, boom, Lots and lots of documents, including body cam footage too of traffic stop of Bryan Kohberger. And I got body cam footage of the different officers going to Bryan Kohberger's apartment. This is the type to kind of put the pieces together of what went down with Bryan Kohberger. We're getting more understanding. So if you want in-depth coverage, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button. I'll be posting more documents soon, so stay tuned.